Why should I apologize for being a misogynist? Has any woman ever apologized for turning me into one? Ah, neckbeards. The hairiest incels of the world. Hi there, I'm Roux. Welcome to my video. Today we neckbeard. Oh yes, we do. It's been a while and we're going to do it right now. Good game. Hope you get your ween sucked. Wait. Hold your horses. You're a girl gamer? Not to be a freak, but just when I thought you couldn't get more attractive, you started playing video games. Nicely done, my lady. You've just become every man's dream woman. If you had missed a couple before, now you can be sure that you've got us all drooling. LOL. Just the thing you want to hear when you've put in a bunch of hard work and effort into being good at a game. Virtually creeped on. Every girl's dream. Me. Imagine being offended by my post and calling it a waste of space because you're exactly the type of person I was talking about in my post. And in what case have you ever heard a normal person call women the females? We don't. Maybe go outside and talk to a girl in person for once. Maybe pick up a hobby. Or take a shower. Him. I wasn't offended by your insults towards people who expect sex for being nice. I was annoyed, more so, by your misuse of nonce, as many poor souls have been ruined after being falsely labeled as such. I don't expect someone like you to understand logic, as you resort to such childish insults. Now, I'm not here to be rude, but considering your name, I assume you are a male, or a man at the very least. If that is the case, you are doing exactly what you insult. Don't assume that a white knight, such as yourself, is any better than a nice guy, because you aren't. What you're doing is just as much of a turnoff as those neckbeards you were referring to were doing. Women will assume that you expect something from acting that way, and they'll think you're strange for not expecting anything. Please cease your efforts to stir up needless trouble and just keep to yourself, while I go and take a shower or pick up a hobby. Please consider taking a look in the mirror, grow up, and stop being such a hypocrite. Thank you for reading. Mate, I'm fucking creasing over here. First of all, how are you gonna write an essay over something that's 12 lines and not make any points about what I said to you? Laughing my fucking ass off. I love how he genuinely thinks that if a guy is nice, women will assume that he's creepy, and then if he's not, we're gonna be like, oh my god, he's such a weirdo for not being creepy and expecting sex for being nice. Really, he genuinely thinks that he's doing women a favor by being creepy and expecting something, because then he lives up to expectations? What? Oh my god, their logic is just priceless. My face when she dumps you, a fat Holocaust denier for a cute boy twink. Fact, the skinny boy aesthetic appeals to women only insofar as their brains are incapable of conceptualizing the masculine form, and thus visualize the object of their sexual desire as what is essentially a breastless woman. I mean, that's one way to get over your insecurities about maybe she picked someone who was thinner than you. Sure, she can't conceptualize masculinity. That's definitely what's happening. Feminism is a refuge for women's sexual failure. I love how he added the S. Like he clearly wrote women, and then he was like, oh no, after finishing the whole thing, like, oh, there should be an S in there. Also, why does he look like a poor man's excuse of that guy from Little Britain? The guy who plays Vicky. Yeah. Sure, it's women's fault that he's not getting laid. We all got together and decided. Although that's definitely what we would do, though. No one wants to sleep with him. Oh no, a 22-year-old dating a 17-year-old. The horror. No, he's sick. Fuck. Huh? What's that? A 30-year-old dating an 18-year-old? What's wrong with that? A 30-year-old dating an 18-year-old is still creepy. Dude, laughing my ass off. I'm not your dude, queer mo. Choose your next words wisely. You don't want to make an enemy of me. 1. Not gay, I have a girlfriend. 2. Using derogatory terms for groups of marginalized people is uncool. 3. Threatening is also uncool. Well, your girlfriend has a penis. You gon' cry? You gon' cry? If you reply to this post, I win automatically. That's basically like when you're 10 and you're like, mirror, like brick wall. It's basically like, no, if he answers, he might beat me. Therefore, I must preemptively tell him that if he answers, I have won. What is he, 12? What the hell? Oh my god, I think we just figured it out. Neckbeards are 12-year-olds. That creepy 12-year-old you went to school with, they just never grew up. If females are so concerned about rape and harassment, then why do they wear things like shorts, skirts, crop tops, and bathing suits? I don't know. 'Cause it's warm? 'Cause we're people? 'Cause we're individuals and we can choose our own clothing style? Because it's comfortable? I mean, we don't want to look at your weird-ass man-boob nipples either, but, you know, you can wear whatever you want too. Ah, people like this. Sad. I love how it's posted in a relationship advice. This person has never been in a relationship. Ever. And if he was imagining it. And she filed a restraining order. I'm willing to bet money on that.
Wow, I love your cosplays. You're an amazing content creator. Wow, I love how you use EVA foam on this one build. Beep. You Jezebel wench!
I always hear incels and neckbeards claim that we should go back to traditional gender roles. Yet, could they even build a shed? Or just a spice rack? For their state-assigned girlfriend? Hell, could they even use a nail gun without losing an eye? The answer is no. I feel like it's always been like this though throughout history. There's like one guy whining at the pub like the village loser, like, I don't understand why no women like me. I've been like harassing them and bothering them for years. Like, I haven't been able to wear any of them down. And then that one time I touched that lady, she was like, calling me a rapist. I don't understand why are women so difficult. But now they have the internet and they bond together. The internet brings good and bad things. This is a bad thing. Let's look at the comments though. While you were putting a shelf up and learning how to maintain your car, I studied the blade. Flail, wheeze, sweat. You don't understand. All my reserves have been concentrated towards studying the blade. All other activity is prohibited by my body. I can only perform one action, Milady's protection. And for that, I studied the blade and only the blade. Should have learned how to drive though. Yes, how will you meet the miladies if you can't drive to places to meet them? Exactly, if they want girls to do housework and shit like that, then they will have to work a full-time job and pay for everything. But that will take away from gaming and Reddit. Plus, mom doesn't charge rent to live in the basement, so I work. Still, wifey should know how to make a sandwich. It's so typical. Like, the most sexist dudes I've ever met are always the most incompetent morons also. Like, they can't even do anything for themselves. And it's just sad and pathetic. Like, the real reason they're asking you to do stuff is because they feel like they couldn't do it themselves. And they don't want to lose face by trying. I know neckbeard dudes who think they can build things, but it's reminiscent of an 8-year-old with spare wood bits and nails making something. Yeah, I made this shelf and wood burnt a God of War quote on the side. That's a shelf? This is always such an interesting topic to discuss with men who truly believe this. I had an ex-boyfriend who had some very similar viewpoints to neckbeards/incels, who wanted me to quit my job and become a stay-at-home mom/homemaker. However, I was making about $20,000 more a year than he was. Not only that, but he was completely incapable of doing anything traditionally masculine, such as building a fire. I had to do it when we went camping. Fixing or building anything, I owned more tools than he did, or providing for a family. Not that I think that this should fall completely on the man, but realistically, he did not make enough for us to have been a single income family in our very high cost area of living. That's the thing too, like, they're so insecure. The real reason they want women to stay home is so that they can control them. And they live in like this bubble where they're like, women can stay home, I can pay for everything, and then they go broke and it's like, they blame her somehow, like, you're making me feel sad about making so little money that we had to move somewhere else. Also, I hate your sandwiches. This isn't the 1950s anymore. Single income families are very rare. You speak the truth. They only think about women in sexual sense and little else. That's the thing. That's the same thing with the guy with the bathing suit question. They don't think of us as people. And as a woman, I can attest to how frustrating it is. Like, it's just... Imagine talking to someone who genuinely doesn't believe that you're a person. And then when you like react negatively to it, they're like, oh, you're being hysterical and overdramatic. You're being so emotional. Typical woman. I want to hit them so hard in the face with so many blunt objects. If only it was legal. Because it sounds better than admitting that they're grown-ass men who still need mommy to help them. So they want a wife who can be their new mommy. That is alarmingly true. That's the thing I said, like, it's because someone in their life either groomed this behavior. Like, I feel like whenever someone teaches their son to be really misogynistic, like, oh, you're a boy, you don't have to clean up, you're disabling them for life. No one's gonna like them. Also, they won't be able to do basic shit for themselves. It's sad. Misogyny helps no one. What woman in her right mind would want to return back to that shitfest? None. Except that classically Abby girl who very bravely came out as a conservative influencer and whose entire channel is about telling women how to not make men want to rape them. Those poor men, they just have so many urges. It's like she watched that movie, Mrs. America, and went, oh my god, the villain in this story? Totes me! I want to be like her, she seems so repressed, I love it. I had a neckbeard make fun of me for being vegetarian once. He said, human beings are hunter-gatherers. My response was, oh yeah? What Burger King do you hunt and gather at? That's the thing too, I love it when they're like, traditionally, because when we were like tribal humans back in like 1 billion years ago, that's how like gender roles should be. And it's like, oh really? I don't see you walking around hunting things and protecting me. Oh, it only applies to my role? Okay then. Not sexist at all. If a woman is stuck in the house and raised like she was in the 1950s, they wouldn't see through a neckbeard's bullshit so easily. That's true. And that's why cults work. They keep their women uneducated, and whenever they try to leave, they're like, the devil's gonna get you. If you leave, the devil's gonna get you. When in reality, it's, please don't leave. You have the uterus. We want to make more people. Not that we need you, though, but we do. Not that you're valuable, though, as a human being, because you're a woman, but we do. Oh, what is this I see? Neckbeards have entered the chat. Traditional gender roles are about the man being the breadwinner, while the woman stays at home and raises children. Has literally nothing to do with woodworking skills. Okay, would they be able to support this girlfriend with their lucrative job of living in mom's basement? Or perhaps the high-paying job of wallowing in self-loathing and blaming everyone else for their mental illnesses? Even in traditional gender roles, they wouldn't get a girlfriend. The girl still has a choice of who they date, and I doubt it would be a neat. So who does the woodwork? This is a good question. Is there a secret man or a secret woman, secret creature in everyone's house if you have traditional gender roles? Well, that would be interesting. That would be cool. I hope you enjoyed that. I had a good laugh, and I hope you did too. Thank you so much for coming by. You're awesome. Please leave a like and a comment and subscribe if you're not already. I'd love to have you in my community. Thank you so much to my wonderful patrons, Catbra, Magdalena Vuska, Cami, and Ellie. Do comment below, what kind of videos do you want to see in the future? What kind of subreddits should we cover? I post every day, real talk, Fridays, Reddit readings, and soon Wednesdays, true crime. Gonna make this my full-time job, I'm determined. So if you want to support that, do subscribe. Leave a like. Okay, you're awesome. See you later, alligator!